have a special treat for you today. So I'm going to show you some seedlings around my home. And this is so important for you to look at and watch, because right now all the annuals especially are coming up, the seedlings. And if you didn't know what to look for, you would probably just weed them out of your yard. And some of these, well, all of them are native. And so you may have them growing native in your yard, but you're weeding them out. And so I'm going to show you today what to look for. Okay, so because I want you to go out and I want you to scavenge around your yard and look for these herbs, these native herbs. So the first one I'm going to teach you or show you is Life Everlasting, Pseudo-Naphthalum obtusifolium. And I'll try and put a clip of my daughter in there swirling around with Life Everlasting, the seeds. And where she did it, there was a ton. I mean, there are a ton that popped up. And I have sandy soils, so it likes sandy soils. So a lot has come up in my yard. I'm very grateful for that. So here Anna Rose is spreading the seeds, and I think because she did it with so much joy and love, and she just has that innocence and that childlike spirit, almost all the seeds she spread came up. I mean, hundreds came up. And so I'm going to be able to share them with students. But anyhow, I love that she did this. It was in October, and I'm just now seeing the seedlings now. And so it is February. And so, you know, just following the natural rhythms of nature, releasing the seeds in your yard and then letting them overwinter and then come up. All right, let's keep going. The other one, which I did a video on, is Evening Primrose. So there's more coming up of that. Then I have another herb called sneezeweed. And then last but not least, Eastern horsemint, Monarda punctata. I have spread the seeds out of that and they're coming up. So I want you to see what those look like, because if you didn't know what it looks like, you'd probably weed them out. All right, let's get started. So I want you to look. This is a really weedy area, and it's actually right by my porch, but we just moved here, so it's taken me a while. But it's really cool because there are all these herbs, and this one is Life Everlasting. And this is kind of where my daughter, I'll try and put footage of it, where she put the seeds. And I just want you to look. Look at this. Look at all those babies. There's a ton of babies here. And this is one of my favorite herbs. It's a very sacred herb of the Gullah-Geechee community and the indigenous people of North America, because it is so healing. See how hairy those leaves are? And so if I didn't know what to look for, I would just weed these guys out. But I'm not going to. So it has really fuzzy, hairy leaves. Okay, and they appear gray. And the leaves are longer than wide. Okay, so you really want to look for that, because there are a lot of herbs that look like this. I'm going to show you one. So here's one, and I have to key this out. This looks like Life Everlasting, a seedling, but it's not. See how it's starting to sprawl, how it's starting to lay out? So it does that. It kind of forms this, it's not a basal rosette, but it kind of forms a ground cover. Where Life Everlasting, which is right there, doesn't do that. It comes straight up, okay? It's more erect, it comes straight up. Here is again the other one that is not Life Everlasting, okay? So you just have to pay attention and be mindful of what's growing up, what is coming up. This is such an important time to be out in the garden and be mindful and pay attention before you start weeding stuff out. So that's all Life Everlasting. Here again is the Evening Primrose, which I love, which is Anathera binensis. And see that prominent white midvein and those beautiful dark green leaves? And see how it's kind of forming a basal rosette? And so that is how I know it's Evening Primrose. And it's not really in the best position. It's right by my steps. So right here, so I'm gonna have to move it, but I'm gonna put it in my garden, okay? Now this is so cool. I didn't even realize this one, but look right here. This one, you probably won't have this, or you probably won't want to grow it. I don't use it for medicine all the way yet. I need to get to know it better. But this is called sneezeweed. And it is a coastal plain species. And we rescued a bunch, and it's now coming up in my yard, and I love it. And now I'll be able to share it with my students, because it is a beautiful plant and the bees love it. And so that's the fun part about growing natives, is that they do so well, and you could just naturally spread them around your yard. Look at this. Look, another life everlasting. Oh, look, another evening primrose and another life everlasting. It's like a gold mine out here for me. And there is another life everlasting. So you just really want to be mindful. And actually, I give my students seeds. So one of the benefits of working with me is I share seeds. Here's more evening primrose, and then here is more life everlasting. And this was just, I gave Anna Rose some life everlasting blooms, and I just got her to kind of run around this area, and there's just so much life everlasting everywhere. Okay, I want you guys to see this. This is Eastern horsemint, Monarda punctata, okay? And I sprinkled some seeds around. I put some, there's another one. I'm gonna show you the seed heads. A lot of times when I am spreading seeds, I just put the seed heads in my garden and I just let nature take its course. I let the seeds fall out, I let them spread around. And here's the thing about a seed. Sometimes it takes a certain seed, a certain year, and a certain place to make it. So it's a lot of fun just to sprinkle the seeds around and see what pops up, okay? I kind of have a very natural approach to gardening, but it works with native plants. So look, here's another one. Oh my gosh, look how many are coming up. Hold on, there's one. And wait, there's one. And there's one. And I should tell you that we rescued these. Look at this. Hold on, I'm gonna show you this. This is amazing. Look at this. Look at these babies. See this? Those are all Monarda punctata, all native, right? We rescued some from Kiowa Island, and then I actually got some from the back of my lot, and I put it in the my front bed. So look at this. I want to show you this. So these are the seed heads, okay? And it's falling out, all right? Here is it. It's coming up. This is last year's plant that I rescued, thanks to Nora Luce. And the contractor, Kiowa Island, and there's a YouTube video on that you can watch. But look underneath, see the little babies pop up, okay? And so I just have to be very mindful. And so when you're looking for Monarda punctata, let me see if I can find another one. There's a tiny one, let me see if I can pick it up. Hold on, sorry. It's hard, it's so small. So look at it. It has that, see if I can get my finger on it. There it is. Ooh, there it is. It has those dark green leaves, okay, and they're opposite. They're opposite of each other. This one's going this way and that one's going that way. So you gotta pay attention to that. It is again. So you see they're opposite of each other, kind of like a mint. All right, and it has that square stem, but it's so small you can't really see the square stem. But the other thing that I pick up with a Monarda, or pick up on, is this dark green leaf. You see how dark green it is? Look at that. That is Monarda punctata. The same bed, I kept throwing life everlasting in here, and look at this. So I have one right there, and I have one right here. And this one you can kind of see its form shaping up, and you're like, oh yeah, that looks like life everlasting. See the long leaves? See how they're hairy on the upper surface, and they're hairy on the lower surface, okay? And there's my daughter. And then there's the sneeze weed that we rescued, so it's coming up, it's an annual, okay? And so these are annual species, and the cool thing that I'm noticing just by being observant is that annuals tend to come up in the winter here in Charleston, so they come up really early. Look at this one. Look at this one. Look how cool that is. It's all life everlasting. And then here's a sneezeweed. And then there's the primrose. That is my little seedling tour. I hope you get out and you look for the seedlings. You may get lucky, you may have life everlasting already, especially if you live on the coast. Actually, it grows in the mountains too, so just keep your eyes open. And then also evening primrose, and then Monarda punctata. And when you're out and about and you see these plants, just collect a little bit of seeds and put them in your garden. That is the way to go. And I always only collect about 10% of a population. That's what we do with rare plant conservation, but I even do it with common plants, just so I'm not collecting and hurting that population. So I'm always mindful. But I love spreading the seeds, and I love seeing them come up. And actually I have a bunch of dandelion seeds that I'm going to spread after I end this video. All right, well, be well, plant friend. Peace.